Ever since we saw Apex actually rework Revenants, a lot of players have been looking at which legend is being reworked next. So in today's video, I want to talk about the legends that are getting reworked, along with some hidden changes to legends that have already happened, and reworks to other parts of Apex that will give you a lot of Apex nostalgia. So to begin with, we'll talk about the Ash rework, because the developers showed signs that they were looking at reworking or improving Ash during a recent Reddit AMA. They said that Ash was a legend they expected to be used heavily in the competitive scene, but never really caught on, and that they were looking into changes that would benefit her since her tactical changes might not have been enough, and that her ultimate was unreliable. Well, in the most recent update, it seems like they tried something small with her ult by giving it a range indicator and buffing its distance slightly from 63 to 75 meters. But is that really it for Ash? Well, we did get some leaked information recently saying that an Ash rework was in development, and currently her passive will remain the same, but her tactical and ultimate will be changed. Now, after some digging, I found out that this info seemed to have originated from NWP, and I'm unaware of his source or how accurate they may be, but keep this in mind if you are an Ash main, because there might be some interesting things on the way for Ash. Personally, I'm not really sure what new abilities I would give to Ash. There was talks that apparently she will still have some kind of teleporting ability, but it could be completely reworked to how it is now. And it was also mentioned that a new version of Ash, where Ashley Reed, the previous human version of Ash, kind of interferes, and that's what will cause this rework. And the Apex lore at the moment does look like it's favoring an Ash rework soon as well, because in the recent Apex story chapter, you can see Ash and Alta fighting, while Alta explains how she's going to help Horizon visit the past. And of course, Ash is much involved in all of this, as she was the one who betrayed Dr. Summers in the first place. And Ash is the reason why Horizon should be 89 years old, but obviously she's not. And she's the reason why she can't see her son anymore. So now that Alta is bringing up Ash's past and even time traveling, this could have us seeing an alternate version of Ash in the Apex universe where Ashley Reed is more in control. Who really knows what will ultimately happen with Ash, but she's definitely going to be heavily involved in all of this time travel lore, which ultimately makes sense to end up in some kind of tweak in her abilities. Now, if you don't want any spoilers about the Apex lore, skip this part. There'll be a timestamp on the video anyway that says spoiler, so just skip that part if you don't want to see this. But the next story chapter coming to Apex will actually reveal that Alta has a power source required to time travel. It's a piece of the Arc from the Titanfall universe, and she gives this to Horizon. So all this time travel business is really happening. It's not just speculation at this point. Alta is outright saying that she has the ability to time travel with this power source, and she's giving it to Horizon. So Horizon's past is probably going to be revisited, and ultimately that means we're gonna have to revisit Ash. So that does support the claims of an upcoming rework. And we should also mention that Ash's Project 19 skin recently had its description updated that said a reckoning is coming, it's just a matter of time, referring to the fact that Ash's mind still contains Ashley Reed in her memory banks. Let me know in the comments though what abilities you'd give to Ash, but anyway, we do have more reliable evidence on the next Legend rework, Lifeline Revived. Crowrindo shared images from an inside source of her new abilities at the moment. Remember, these are subject to change before her release, either next season or in 2 seasons time, but at the time, her passive lets you glide for a few seconds with her drone while in the air. It will look something a little bit like this. And her tactical will be her normal dock drone, but instead it will be able to follow your teammates while healing and automatically revive them. And finally, her ultimate, which was pretty interesting, the Shockbot 3000, would create a force field that pushes enemies back and stops them from entering an area of the ult, but this barrier can be shot through and the drone can be destroyed, which will end the ultimate. A very interesting version of Lifeline, which does make her more of a combat medic, which we also saw glimpses of in the Double Take event trailer, because Lifeline was acting a lot more aggressive in that trailer.
As a medic, your job is to help people.
Need assistance here?
But I know the truth of this world. That death finds a way. Life is meant to die. I know that now. Now hold still, you hear? This might hurt a bit.
So they're clearly setting up this rework that turns her into more of an aggressive combat style medic. So what are you looking forward to more? An Ashe rework or a Lifeline rework? I'm definitely super excited for the Lifeline rework, and that one's definitely coming up first, but some Ashe changes would definitely be great. Now, speaking of changes, there has been a few secret legend changes in the latest update. Changes that weren't mentioned in the patch notes, but do greatly affect how the legend plays. First of all, we have Wattson, who got a secret buff where her passive healing rate is doubled. So now you generate 1 bar of 25 shields in 25 seconds, which is 2 shields every 2 seconds. And it used to take 50 seconds to heal 25 shields, so this has doubled the rate of Wattson's passive. Pretty significant if you ask me. But Vantage also got changed. Echo's speed has been increased by about 50%, and there's also a weird new mechanic or bug right now where you can recall Echo mid-jump, and you'll sort of bend towards where he flies. It does definitely seem like a bug, but obviously they were tweaking with Vantage, and the increased echo speed is a change that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes either. And obviously we also mentioned Ashe's ult was secretly buffed, and who knows, there could be even more legend changes that we haven't even discovered yet in the latest update. Now, legend reworks are always interesting, but we haven't had a new weapon since Season 16, and instead of releasing a brand new weapon just yet, it seems like the devs are reworking existing ones. The P2020 and Mozambique now have code for Akimbo in the game files, so dual-wielding pistols seems to be just around the corner, and I wonder just how fun this rework will be. It's all good getting a reworked legend, but reworked weapons could be interesting. Not too long ago, they reworked the charge rifle, and the charge rifle is a bit of a unique weapon anyway, so it didn't really have a huge impact on the game. But dual-wielding pistols could definitely be a lot of fun, and it will just look badass while you're doing it. Now, the way they'll probably do this is by creating a new hop-up, which gives you the option to pick up a second pistol and dual wield it. And like I said, it seems like the code in the files is for the P2020 and the Mozambique at the moment, which means both those pistols will likely be seeing dual wield options very, very soon next season. And finally, sometimes new isn't always the best. It's nice to revisit the old stuff. And a new OG Apex mode could bring back a lot of players like we saw with Fortnite and make the game feel fresh. And new info was shared by Osvaldator that the devs added OG versions of all weapons released up to Season 2 to the game. So an OG takeover or LTM is probably in development where we'll have the OG maps, maybe even OG legends, and all of the OG weapons like the Mastiff and the L-Star in the care package and the OP Wingman and all the old weapon stats. Now that is something that I think would be amazing for Apex, and I can't wait to see what the devs have planned for that. And I think OG Apex would be more fun to play than quads or solos has been in Season 21. Let me know if you agree. But there you go, it's definitely an interesting time in Apex where the devs are open to reworking stuff that's already existing, and with them slowing down the release of new legends, we're gonna see these kind of reworked a lot more often. So let me know if there's a legend that you'd like to see reworked that currently doesn't have any plans for a rework. But anyway, that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.